Well, hey, y'all. Welcome to TLT with Lita. Welcome on the different platforms. Welcome to you all on YouTube. Welcome to you all on IG. And welcome to you all on the TikTok platform. Come on in, y'all. Let's get started. I'm excited about our discussion today. I'm excited about this particular tip in uh, in the life of our leadership journey. I'm really ready to dive into this. I hope that you all come ready to get into it. All right. So let's get started. Again, welcome to Tuesday Leadership Tips with Lita. I'm happy that you are here and I'm excited to jump in. Today's leadership tip is this: comparison is a thief of growth. If you're leading, if you just living life, no matter what area of life you're in, comparison is a thief of growth. As leaders, however, it's natural to look to others for inspiration, for guidance, or even a benchmark, if you will. But comparison, especially in leadership, it can quickly become the thief of your growth. I'm remembering a scripture that's in the Bible because it came to mind as I was just speaking, but it talks about comparing yourselves by yourselves is not wise. So when we compare ourselves to others, we risk getting stuck in self doubt, and we risk uh, dealing with imposter syndrome, and we risk dealing with feelings of inadequacy. That's what happens when you start comparing yourself to other people. Instead of focusing on your journey and your growth, you get distracted by what others are doing or achieving. And so instead of just applauding those who are making great leaps and achieving much and being successful in much, if you start comparing yourself to other people, you won't be able to do that with a pure heart. You won't be able to celebrate other people because, again, comparing yourself to others, well, comparison is the thief of growth. So, in this particular conversation today, I want us to look at how comparison sabotages your leadership growth. And we want to talk a little bit about the dangers of constantly measuring yourself against others. Not only is it going to cause you to feel a type of way and steal your growth opportunity, but it's going to cause you to be stuck. And so we're going to talk about how to refocus on your leadership path, not somebody else's, on your own leadership path, and also discuss some practical ways to build a mindset that celebrates progress over perfection. Because, see, that's what happens when we start looking at other people so much and trying to perfect everything that we're doing. You forget to celebrate your progress. You forget to keep your mind focused on what you're doing. And so we're going to look at that today. We're going to look at how to embrace your unique leadership journey as a key to your long term success. Because if you're leading, then you have a unique journey that you need to travel that no one else can travel but you. This is what I've learned over the years, that no one can do what you do like you do. It's just impossible. There may be a lot of people doing a lot of different things that may be some of the same things or in some of the same areas, but no one can do it exactly like you do it. And so, as leaders, sometimes you can find yourself comparing your journey, your success, or your leadership style to other people. When it's all said and done, you need to know your unique journey, your unique way of succeeding, and your unique leadership style. And you got to be confident in that, even if it doesn't look like everybody else. The one thing I love about not being like anyone else is no one else could be me but me. Just like no one else can be you but you. So don't fall into the trap of comparing yourself to people who seem to have it all together, whether it's on social media, in the boardroom, or in your particular industry. Don't get caught in that trap. So, we're going to talk about why comparison keeps you stuck and how to shift your focus to your own growth. That's empowering in itself when you choose you. Oh, my goodness. I said that's empowering in itself when you choose you. So, let's jump into it. What's the biggest challenge you face when it comes to comparison in your leadership? What's the biggest challenge you face? Just think about it. You can put something in the chat if you like, but if you don't, I want you to just really look inward. Just think about it. What's your biggest challenge, and how did you either come out of it, or if you need help getting out of it? I want to tell you why comparison can stall your growth. The downside of comparison is this: it's important to acknowledge that comparison is natural. We all do it. But what often starts as a source of inspiration can turn into a barrier of growth. When we compare ourselves to others, we often feel inadequate or discouraged because we see only the successes and the highlights, and we don't see the struggles behind the scenes. And anyone that you see succeeding, I don't care what they're succeeding in, they have struggles behind the scenes. And oftentimes you get on platforms like this or looking at social media posts, and you think that they just blink their eyes. No, they had some real hell to go through. They had some real struggles that they had to fight through to get to where they are today. And if you keep that in mind, you won't be so quick to quit when you run into struggles. You'll be reminded that, wait a minute, so and so said they had to go through A to Z to get to where they are. So that means I have to go through somewhat of a struggle myself in order to get to where I envision myself being. You don't want to keep yourself from stepping into your own unique leadership potential. Don't hinder your growth through unhealthy comparison. So let me talk just a minute about versus comparison versus healthy benchmarking. I used that term earlier, that you can look at people and you can kind of benchmark. There's a fine line between using others for inspiration and letting their progress hinder your own. It's a fine line. Healthy benchmarking is about learning from others, not measuring your worth against theirs. This is the thing that I know. Where someone is in their lane, you cannot compete where you don't compare. That's why you have to find your own lane. And I want to give y'all just um, a few examples in my own personal life just about healthy benchmarking. I think about three people came to mind for me today. Uh, well, I'll say three groups of people. Yeah, I'll put it that way. So I was thinking about Dr. Darius and Shamika Daniels. No one is doing what they're doing. No one can do it like they're doing it. I begin to think about um, when I was in their inner circle, and all of the wealth of knowledge that Dr. Darius and Pastor Shamika taught us in this inner circle. Listen, money can't buy what they imparted at that time. And I think about them, and I'm like, nobody's doing what Dr. Darius is doing. Nobody's doing what Pastor Shamika is doing. Nobody's doing it like they're doing it. And then I also think about just in the area of ministry, my apostle, Dr. Nelson K. Williams, and his wife Lillian Williams, and their beautiful girls. Nobody's doing it like they're doing it. I've been knowing them well over 20 plus 20. This is 2025. 25 years. And Dr. Williams and his wife, they have been consistent people of integrity for the entire 25 years that I've known them. And when Dr. Nelson and his wife, when they come forth to do whatever they're doing for God, they do it with excellence, and nobody can do it like them. And then, as I'm thinking about both of these beautiful families, the Daniels, the Williams, I'm thinking about another family. Um, with these first two families, I know them, you know, personally. But this last person I want to mention has a beautiful family as well. I was thinking about Dr. Campbell. Some of y'all might know him as Dr. Swag Fit. I was thinking about how when you're watching someone or you're looking at their life as they're living their life out loud, you are able to see some great things that you can apply to your own life, but to your own journey, not to compare with them. But nobody's doing what Dr. Campbell's doing. Nobody can do what he's doing. They can't do it because he's in his own lane. He's doing what he does. And the thing that I love about all three of these beautiful families is that they are allowing what God put in them to be used, to be a blessing to those that they're called to be a blessing to, and they are prospering in that thing, in that area. What am I saying all this to you for? I'm saying all this to you so you understand. Don't compare yourself to someone who has a track record of walking it out. You have to embrace your own journey, leaders. If you try to live someone else's journey or try to believe and trust me, it won't work. You try to do what they're doing or try to be better at what they're doing, you won't be able to compete because they're doing what they are in their lane to do. Comparison versus healthy benchmarking. Comparison is when you constantly feel like you're falling short and you don't celebrate your own progress. When you find yourself getting down because you feel like you're not making the progress you want to make, and you're looking at someone else instead of applauding them and learning from them, you develop this unhealthy dislike, if you will, for people for no reason. The key to shift your focus from competition to collaboration is by focusing with your own potential, focusing on your own potential. You have to nurture what's in you. No one can do what you do the way you do it. Even if you don't feel like it's much, listen, it's original. And you can't, listen to me carefully, you can't do what someone else is doing the way that they do it. Learn from others, but don't fall into comparison. It's going to rob you of your growth. It's going to rob you. For example, a leader may look at another's success and think, I'll never be able to do that. When you start talking to yourself like that, you know you need a mindset shift. You miss the fact that you can be successful where you are. You don't have to be where someone else is. You don't have to be perfect to be awesome. Their path wasn't perfect either, y'all. Nobody's path is perfect. But by focusing on your growth rather than comparing yourself to others, you'll be able to do as they did in such a way that you'll reach where you need to be at, where you dream to be, where you are trying to be. This is how successful leaders evolve. They stop focusing on other people. They stop trying to be perfect. They focused on their own growth rather than comparing themselves to somebody else. If you're just starting out as a person who is starting your own business, how can you compare to somebody that's been in business for years? It's not wise unless you're learning. If you're learning, then well then, learn, but don't compare. It's just going to steal your growth, and it's going to rob you of the joy of the journey. Don't rob yourself of the process. You learn and grow through the process. Let me give you 4 ways to stop comparing and start growing. Because that's really what no matter what level you're on, that's really what we need. You need to keep growing. Number one, recognize comparison as a growth blocker. You got to call it what it is. Call a spade a spade. The first step in overcoming comparison is to recognize when you're doing it. Catch yourself when you start feeling some type of way watching somebody's content. Catch yourself. You got to recognize when you're doing it. If you feel yourself getting caught in the cycle of comparison, pause and ask yourself some real questions like what's driving this thought? Why am I thinking like this? Am I comparing my behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel? Am I comparing my difficulties to somebody else's moment or snippet in time on a post? Recognizing comparison is a thief of growth is the first step to shifting your mindset. When you recognize that, deal with it. Don't let it linger. Next time you catch yourself comparing, pause. If you can, or if you're in a space where you can, journal. Take a few minutes and journal and write some things that you're grateful for. Write some things that you have succeeded in. You achieve some things. Write some things that's going to cause you to shift from focusing on someone else to focusing on your own journey, your focusing on your own achievements. Recognize how far you've come. And listen, it doesn't have to be 25 years for you to recognize you've come, you know, this far, or that you've made it this far. Don't let someone else's lifelong journey discourage you from enjoying yours. The second thing, focus on your unique leadership path. Again, you can look at others, you may be even in the same industry, you can look at them as a benchmark, but your journey as a leader is uniquely yours. It's uniquely yours. It's uniquely yours. Your strengths, your experiences, and your values are different from anyone else's. Lean into that. You don't have to be like everybody else. In fact, you can't be like anybody else. Lean into your strengths, experiences, and values. Focus on your progress, not on where someone else is in their journey. Because, see, someone may be coming off years, years of hard work. And now you see them on the mountaintop and you want to go straight to the mountaintop. Listen, the same way they had their journey, you have to have yours. The same way they have their process and make their progress, you have to have your process and make your progress. What makes you a unique leader is your perspective. It's different from anybody else's. And your perspective and the way you bring that to your team, it cannot be duplicated. The way you bring it to your company, the way you bring it to the world, it's unique to you. I want you all to embrace who you are, embrace how you lead. Work through what you need to work through to get better. Keep growing, but don't let the thief of your growth in comparison stop you, hinder you, or block you. Spend time, even the rest of this week, identifying your unique leadership strengths. See, if you start really recognizing and paying attention to, you know what, I'm kind of strong in this area. When you start recognizing that strength, then you will stop rather focusing on someone else's achievements and strengths, and you'll start building yours. You'll start working on yours. You'll start doing things to get better and better in your walk as a leader. Journal what sets you apart from other people. How can you use that to create a greater impact? How can your uniqueness cause you to make a greater impact in whatever area that you believe you're called to and where you're called to serve? Focus on your unique leadership path. Number three, celebrate small wins. Y'all see my videos. I make a video at the end of each month. Most of the time, I do it the first day of the next month, but I celebrate TLT with Lita after each month is over. It may not seem like much to anyone, it may not seem like much to everyone, but when it's all said and done, I'm focused on my growth, I'm focused on my impact, and I desire to bring in. I desire to bring in impact. I desire to bring in value in the leadership space. So I celebrate it. I don't care how small it may seem to others. I celebrate it because I'm focused, I'm locked in on me being better than I was yesterday. I'm locked in, I said, on me being better than I was yesterday. I don't have time to compare myself to other people because, see, I'm unique, I'm different. And if I'm different, I have to focus on my difference and work on my difference so that it makes a greater impact to those that I'm called to serve. And so that is my hope for you, that you will begin to look at these small wins and celebrate them. Because too often we overlook the small wins because we're too busy looking at someone else's big success. Applaud the big success. Celebrate those who are having big success and big wins. Keep your heart pure. Don't allow jealousy or envy to creep in. Small wins add up over time, y'all. They add up over time. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small it seems. Every step forward is a part of your growth journey. We don't get to a certain level of leadership and stop learning or stop growing. No, we just keep growing and we keep learning and we keep um, imparting what we've learned to people we lead. So I want to challenge you at the end of the week, write down 3 small wins that you achieved in I'm not even going to say a time frame. If it's something you hadn't celebrated, just write down 3 small wins and celebrate them. Acknowledge them. Use them as motivation for your next steps. I'm telling y'all, you're going to feel different if you do it. If you start telling yourself what you're doing matters, and you start working to grow so that what you're doing continues to matter, you're going to feel better about yourself. And you're not going to be trying to compare yourself to other people because you realize that your path is different. Number 4, develop a growth mindset. Develop that growth mindset, y'all. That growth mindset is the belief that you can improve and you can evolve through effort, through learning, and resilience. You're not going to grow if it does not first happen in your thoughts. You got to believe that you are improving. You got to make the effort. You got to do the work the work that it takes for you to evolve, the work that it takes for you to learn more and to remain resilient. When you adopt this growth mindset, you shift your focus from judging your success against others to celebrating your learning and progress. Can y'all see how that can put a damper on your day if you judge your success based on somebody's years of work? Can you see how that can kind of bring you down a little bit? But if you develop a growth mindset, you realize that you're growing every day, and every one of us should be growing every day. We should be intentionally trying to be better than we were the day before. This mindset will help you appreciate the progress, the process of growth, instead of feeling behind. Because this is your process, this is your progress. Looking at someone else does not determine where you are as it relates to being behind or being ahead. That's on you. So ask yourself, what am I learning today that will make me a better leader tomorrow? What am I learning today? And I want y'all to understand, the reason I say this about this perfection thing is because Dr. Darius Daniel said something so true, and it stuck in my mind when he said it. He said, "Perfect is never done." He said, "Done is better than perfect." And it's so true. If you spend all day trying to perfect everything, it'll never be done. Embrace the setbacks and the opportunities to grow rather than reasons to compare. It is so important that you begin to look at yourself, embrace who you are, and grow into who you want to be. That means you got to stop comparing yourself to other people. There's people on each one of these platforms that are viral. Some have been on here for years. I've seen people like Dr. Myron Golden, who said he recorded videos way back in the day, and he said then they started going viral. He said they had been out there already. He didn't have to do new content. Keep doing the things that you need to do to learn, to grow, and allow your process to process you through. I want to give you all this quick warning, and the reason I want to, because I just think it's so important to not comparing yourself to others. Be careful not to try to build your leadership legacy, your platform, or your following by stepping on other people. If you are building your pedestal by pulling other people down or by saying awful things about them or making up stuff to try to make yourself look like you're better, I want you to understand the only thing you're doing is putting a spotlight on you so people can start looking at you and looking at you crazy, because why would you be tearing someone else down to build yourself up? That's not wise. And I'm going to tell you why it's not wise. No one can escape the law of reciprocity. No one can escape that. Whatever you sow will grow. In other words, you will always harvest what you plant. So when you plant seeds of discord or you tearing someone else down to make yourself look good, the harvest is going to come, because whatever you sow, whatever you harvest, it's going to come back up. The Bible says it like this: whatever a man sows, that he will also reap. Be careful not to try to build your platform, build your leadership legacy, build your business, or build your following by tearing other people down, because it's coming back up. Whatever you sow will grow. And that's all I want to say about that. And so, listen, leaders, think about a time when comparison held you back. Just think about it for a moment. How did it affect your confidence or your decision making? Just think about it. It could be where you had a plan to have X, Y, and Z completed within 90 days, but you started comparing yourself to someone else and then you stopped. If you're comfortable, share your experience with us. I want us to be able to help each other break free from comparison, because not only is it stealing your growth, it's stealing your time. And we know time is one of the most valuable um, resources that we have. Time is more valuable than your money. I hope y'all listening to me. So this week, I challenge y'all to focus on your own growth. Focus on you. Choose you. Set a small, achievable goal for the week and celebrate it when you reach it. Because, see, if you're going to start making this practice, if you're going to start making this a healthy habit, then you're going to have to do it. You listen, don't wait to do it. Go ahead and start doing it now so you can start practicing. Hey, you know what? I said I was going to do this and I did it. I'm going to celebrate that. And share your progress with me. Tag me, lead at lead with Lita, and use some hashtag that say leadership growth or something. Put that in there. Just share it with us. Share it with us. And then for today's TLT with Lita, share it with another leader that needs this conversation. Share it with them. Every time you feel yourself comparing yourself to other people, recognize it, deal with it, because we want to continue growing. We want to continue learning as leaders. Remember this, comparison may seem harmless at first, but it can rob you of your momentum. Your leadership journey, again, is unique to you. And the only person you should be comparing yourself to is the person you were yesterday. That's something that Dr. Swag Fit said that stuck with me. He said he only compares himself, or tries to be better rather than he was the day before. He said it like this: it's me versus me. So share this with someone. And if this really helped you, put some talk in the chat, put something in there, in the comments, even when I post a video. Talk. Let's make this something that we conquer, not that we struggle with. And we are no longer, I say we, I'm saying we are no longer struggling with comparison, because it's the thief of growth. All right, y'all. Make sure I don't have anything in the comments. All right, y'all. Well, that's the end of our live for today. Share this with another leader, and I look forward to the next time. Listen, I said we're turning it up. So that means we're going to have to start dealing with some things that we've been struggling with. We're turning it up. Let's go. All right, y'all. Have a blessed Tuesday evening.